Women and Minorities by Krista McGee and Celine Dixon. There were many women back in World War I, and Dorothy is one of those many women. She had male friends in the military, and she wanted to join. Dorothy convinced them to help her get in. She shaved her head and dressed up and spoke like a man. She served for a while, and then they found out she was a girl, so they sent her home. Many women followed in her footsteps to serve their country, but Dorothy was just one of those many. Advances for minorities and women were when they climbed up the social ladder and gained more respect and independence. Women eventually got to serve for the country. They found different jobs that they could do. Many of them stayed home and participated in the Land Army. The Land Army was the women taking over the jobs that the men couldn't do while they were gone at war. So the women replaced the men in munitions factories. They also became nurses to care for the fallen in the war, or they simply wrote letters for the injured who couldn't write to their families due to injury, or they just didn't know how to write. Women also regulated food and fuel consumption in place of the men at war. How they did that were the jobs that they took over. They worked in bakeries, farms, and munition factories in place of the men. Women helped finance the war by selling the products that they made. Women would sell them and send the military money to help finance them. They would also send them food to feed everyone. How many men do you think were registered? The correct answer is B. 24 million men were registered by 1918. There were many different units that men were separated into. It was required that every male had to sign up if they were between the ages of 18 to 45. How many men do you think served in the war? The correct answer is B. 4.8 million men served in World War I, but only 2 million saw active combat. That is because during the war, there were many things that needed to be done, and they had to divide and conquer to take care of everything. Was it all one race, or was it multiple races uniting as one to defend and conquer? There were many different races in World War I. 400,000 of that 24 million were African American. They served in segregated units. African Americans could not serve in the Marines and could only serve in certain positions in the Navy and Coastal Guard. By the end of World War I, they could serve in the cavalry, infantry, signal, medical, engineer, and artillery units, as well as serving as chaplains, surveyors, truck drivers, chemists, and intelligence officers. 15,000 of that 24 million men were Native Americans. Unlike the African Americans, they served in non-segregated units. They were scouts, messengers, and snipers. The Native Americans made a code to talk to the Americans to find out what was going on without the enemies knowing. Everything went back to normal until World War II. Thank you!